Hi guys, this is going to be a PC cubing tutorial on how to properly tune in your DaYan GuHong. So today I took Peter's DaYan GuHong because his was the one that needed it, and I'm going to try to make it like my cube. My cube is really smooth, really fast. It's good stuff. So I'm going to try my best, and I'm going to turn his cube into my cube using Lubricate. This is, I believe, the 4 cc's. So as you can see, I disassembled his cube. I have all the center pieces here. I have the core, all his corners, his edges. You can see he has torpedoes in them. That one's still a little dirty. So basically though, he had lubed his cube with Vaseline because it's what he had available to him. And we used to do that when we used just our Rubik's brands, because for a Rubik's brand it actually works pretty well. But for a GuHong, it just kind of gums stuff up, and you generally don't want to do that. So what you're going to want to do is, if you already lubed up your cube, you're going to want to take all the pieces that have lube on them, take a paper towel or a rag, whatever you want to use. Paper towel is probably best, and just try your best to get all the lube off of everything that you can. Clean them off very thoroughly. And then, dropping stuff. And then once you have everything cleaned up pretty well, I'm still cleaning off all his edges. Then what you're going to do is, I took the core apart because this we're going to try and get as thorough with this as possible. So what you're going to do is you're going to take all your center pieces, and you're going to take the screw out of them and the spring. Now there's a little washer in there though that you really don't want to lose. So I'm going to try and get it out. Okay, that's not working.
Some of them are like stuck in there with Vaseline. I'm terrible.
Dude, what did you do this time?
I know.
Yeah, it's... Oh, there it is. Okay.
Alright.
Good thing I have a magnetic screwdriver. Alright, so there's just that little tiny washer. Like I said, you really don't want to lose that. It's so dirty and greasy. So, what I'm going to do is just take this paper towel, clean that off. There you go, nice and shiny. So now, I have to figure out how to do this. I'm going to grab another paper towel here. I don't know, I'm improvising here. Just take a little bit of this, use a screwdriver or something, and kind of cram it on in here. This isn't really working that well, but basically what you want to do, here we go, this should work. Just get some paper towel in there, clean it all out best you can. Get all the nasty old lubricant or whatever's in there, just clean it all out. Then what you're going to do is you're going to take your Lubricate. You're going to take the applicator tip, take off the little, whatever that is, put your applicator tip on. And then what you're going to do is, you don't need to use a whole lot of lube for this. Just get some on the very inside ridge in there. So I don't know how well you can see that if the light's in there, but just
you can see
on this very bottom part in there, just get some lubricant on there. Now, again, you don't need much, just enough. But then if you can see, there's this outer ridge right here. Go ahead and put some on there too, just for some added lubrication. So now, I'm going to go ahead and do this to all of these, so this will either be sped up or cut out. Alright guys, so I forgot to mention, when you're taking your screws, make sure and clean these off too, real good. Just clean everything off. And then when you put it back through your center, take your washer here and stick it back on your screw, and take your freshly lubed up centerpiece here and just put it back on like that so you don't lose anything. Alright, so I'm finally done lubing up all the centers and putting screws and the washers back in. So now it's time to put them back in our core, which has also been cleaned off very thoroughly. So this is going to be sped up for you. but I'll come back once I have all my centers back in my core.
Alright.
Alright. Alright, so I finally got it put back together, but as you can see, it's super loose. Even with the torpedoes in, I probably could just pop one out. Anyway, so, I'm not really going to do much with it yet. What I have to do now is I have to tension it. So, I'm going to pop all my center caps back off. Oh, you're so good. Anyway, so now I'm just going to do my best to tension all of these to the same side. And I'm going to go a little bit tighter than what Peter wants. Alright, so now we got it to a point where Peter likes the tensions. And given that it's his cube, that's important. So what we're going to do now, and it actually feels really good now, hopefully it's not too loose. It's actually is a lot tighter than he had it but it still cuts pretty decently. Maybe not as well as he would like, but it's okay. It doesn't need to cut 45s, they're too much. So we can always play around with the tensions later. So, but now we got it tensioned. So what I'm going to do is now we're going to lube the actual pieces themselves. So I'm going to go ahead and put the center caps back on. So once we're done with that, we're going to put some Lubricate in the actual pieces themselves. Now, one of the easiest ways to do this is just, since the DaYan cubes have these nice cutouts for the pieces to glide smoothly and not catch, just take the Lubricate, just go around, try and get as much as you can in the cube, and then basically, yeah, once you're done with that,
work it in.
Work it on in. I'm just gonna play with it.
Yeah, play with my GuHong.
You shut up. Oh my gosh, this is the most unofficial tutorial in the history of man. So, fairly worked in. Probably give it a little bit more time, but just work in pretty thoroughly, and his still has a pretty thick feeling of Vaseline in there. Again, I do not recommend you lube a GuHong or any speed cube with Vaseline. It is not a good lubricant for that. So, that is my warning there.
Need a quick fix?
Yeah, always use actual silicone lubricant is generally the best to use. So you can go to the store and buy that. I believe it's HRC. Oh, what the heck am I doing? Anyway, HRC. I think heavy duty silicone lube, something like that. I've heard that stuff works really well. If not, you can buy some Lubricate. Stuff works really well.
Fix it. I don't know how well this is.
So, anyway, so that's really all you need to know about how to lube a GuHong. It's basically simple as take it apart, clean it out, just follow the steps that I gave you on lubricating the center caps, or the center pieces, and then just put some in the actual pieces themselves and play with the tensions after that. I still have to adjust these a bit because they're not very even. So, thanks for